box in front of the glass centre, the glass blowing display. Somebody's put a £50 note in.
And Betty's trying to get it out now, telling her not to.
I am finding many ways in my brain how
You
to
and that, she's thinking, if I get that £50 out, I can get so many bags of Skittles out of it.
Do you think, if I ask them nicely, they'll make us a glass hook that I just go in and like... Have you ever
You need to put some chewing gum on the end to get out there.
Hook the duck at the fair?
Hook the duck?
At the fair.
Oh, yeah.
Except for like the rich person being hooked the 50.
Yeah, but you only win a goldfish and it dies after a week, if you're lucky. You've got to be careful, you'll get a reputation. Hiya, she's Betty Ball.
And he's Stevie B.
And I'm a Mackham.
And I'm from South Shields.
And this is Speak Up Sunderland.
Now this is a podcast all about how the residents of Sunderland who live here now, and I'd like to do an episode, sit right there, about the National Glass Centre in Sunderland. Yeah.
Oh, what a beatboxer I am.
So this is the National Glass Centre episode.
National? That's not 3 syllables in national, man.
What is it then?
National?
No. See, this is the accent thing again.
It is. It's not national.
Well, it's not.
Where's the extra A in national?
Well, where's the T in yours?
National?
No, there's no T you say in there.
You don't say natty you now.
But you don't say national, because there's no sh in there.
Of course you... The first person we're going to meet today is Laura.
So my name is Alreeeet and I am Marketing and Communications Coordinator at Sunderland Culture.
How far and wide do people come to here?
Oh, obviously all over the country, but also all over the world as well. People come and visit. It's kind of a usual tourist stop for anyone who comes to the northeast to go to, see Hayden's Wall or any of the other contemporary art buildings that we have in the northeast. Or they might also come and have a hands-on glassmaking experience, so we do offer different types of tours, and then we can also do tailored tours as well, depending on what you're looking for.
So you're about to see a glass blowing demonstration. What are you most looking forward to seeing?
I want to see the way they shape it and like how they use the different colours to make it different. And it can be like good anniversary presents. I think that's the main reason I'm here.
Tour.
You're off on one, aren't you?
Tour.
All right then. Oh, time. It's just started.
I'm going to treat you to a long neck vase made in pinks and white, but it'll be an overlay vase.
Ian and Ray will move around the hot shop. So they're going to pick up glass from one of these furnaces, and then they'll be moving between the bench, the table and the glory hole.
So where we are at the moment, this is a reheating chamber called a glory hole, and it's at 1220 degrees C here.
I refuse to answer anything to do with that name.
So Ian's going to introduce the air for the first time. He's blown down the tube, he's trapped the air in the tube.
Shape it, add colour, add more glass, and then they'll put it in a layer which will cool it down slowly over a 24-hour period so that it doesn't create too much stress on the glass, so that it can slow down.
You can see there where it's hot, thick. It's still about 1,000 degrees. But here it's only been out the pot a matter of seconds. This is now down to room temperature. So that's how quickly it cools. So below 500 it will crack. So that's how we can got to watch it all the time.
Oh, it was brilliant. Really, really informative. Yeah. And I think both my kids got an awful lot from it as well. They make it look so easy. They really do. But just having spoken to him, he's saying it's now a degree educational standard. So, yeah, it's a shame it's a dying trade. But, yeah, they produce some beautiful stuff here. So
what course do you have to do to become a glass blower then?
You can either do it as an apprenticeship, so if you wanted to become an apprentice glass blower, or we also, the University of Sunderland offer foundation degree, and then you can specialise in glass and ceramics, so you can do a BA, and then you can go on to do a master's, and you can also do a PhD, and you can specialise in different areas of glass and ceramics, because there's not just glass blowing in this form. There's also flame working, infused glass, casting, lots of different types of glass making. They get to have a taste of everything during their time doing their degree, and then they can choose which art form they prefer and which method of glass making, and then they can specialise, but they can also mix them up as well.
I would make something proper and appropriate, mate.
Yeah, you would.
I'd just make sure they were perfectly symmetrical though.
Wait, I'll tell you what one of them furnaces is called.
Oh, is it Noi? Let's go and ask Ray. Ray!
You know how much I was dying not to laugh? Why is one of those furnaces called the glory hole?
Well, think about it. Why would you think?
Because that's where
it all happens.
Yeah.
That's it. Without that, you can't do anything. You can't be creative.
They're thinking of something completely different.
Of course they are. And that's why we get lots and lots of sniggers and laughs some of the commentators don't even mention that it's a glory well, they just say a reheating chamber. But it's been named as a glory well for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Without that, there's no glory.
Where he is, that's a reheating chamber called a glory hole, and it's at 1220 degrees C. So it means we can melt the colours in very quickly, but also we can heat the glass up as we work it, so that it's soft enough to manipulate.
So that was one question we asked Warree.
I can't believe that you. First thing we wanted to ask them.
And watching you try to hold it in. Too priceless. So Laura was telling us about how Sunderland National Glass Centre is part of the new Culture Company, a collection of cultural venues and organisations all united after Sunderland bid for the UK City of Culture 2021.
We went in for the City of Culture bid for Sunderland, and we didn't get it, which was sad. But do you think there's been a knock-on effect with that? Because I think what's come out of that is a huge amount of positivity from everybody. Do you think that's true?
Absolutely. So Rebecca Ball, who was the director of Sunderland 2021, is actually now part of the Sunderland Culture team and is, brilliant and fantastic. And there is the 2021 legacy, and that is kind of a big driving force of what Sunderland Culture is going to do moving forward. So 2021 was definitely a brilliant thing for us to take part in, and personally as a resident of Sunderland I definitely think it got some cogs turning, and we didn't win, but actually there's some fantastic things came out of it, and it did just push us in that direction that we needed to just move forward and carry on moving forward. And I think it was a really brilliant way to demonstrate that we could change and we could do things, and we didn't really need to win it to prove that.
You've got to think what this was years ago. It was apparently the most important and busiest shipping area in the world.
Well, at one point, all the Pyrex in the world was made in Sunderland, which I think, is really exciting as part of our heritage. When you find things out like that, which, when I started working here, you find stuff out like that more, and you just think, oh, that's really cool, I didn't know that, and it makes you proud to be part of Sunderland, to think that was part of our heritage.
I remember the Pyrex factory. It was just off the Queen Alexander Bridge, I think.
Yeah, further up.
It was
the
huge.
river.
It was a place where you never think would ever close, like the same when we had Vaux Brewery. That'll never close, and then when they do, you think, well, hang on a minute, we've got a big gap here, but I think it's fantastic.
I just think Sunderland's amazing in the sense that we achieve what we achieve with so little resource. There's not many of us that are, working on these projects, and we don't have a massive amount of financial funding either in comparison with other cities, especially within the region. And I think what we achieve without those additional support mechanisms is incredible.
Do you think it demonstrates the sort of mental strength and the character that has always been here at Sunderland?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's a shame we haven't got a football team to match.
So Ian's got the bubble cooling off now, and he uses experience to know just when to wine on hot glass for the first time. The hot glass is in this furnace, which is at 1130 degrees.
Getting hot in here, so fold your clothes over 1,000 degrees. I can't believe it's so hot.
30 degrees, which means that it distorts the colours that we're using as well.
You're here at the Glass Centre today. Yeah. What's made you come down, and why have you come down?
I was bored in the house.
It was a nice weather, and it's a nice walk along where the marina. It's a lovely, nice place to visit. And we've just come here. I've never been here before. So, I have in a cafe, but I've never actually seen a bars being made. So it's quite interesting to see what we're going to do.
I mean, there's a lady came this morning and she I haven't been here before, but I'll be bringing everybody now. And she was pleased to know that she would see something different each time she comes as well.
I think people are excited to find out that they can have a go as well, and that we do offer adults courses and family activities where people can come in and try all of the different glassmaking techniques that we offer here. It's good fun, yeah, people love it.
It's astonishing to think that this is glass. I know it's melted glass, but how quick and easy it looks, it's amazing to watch and sit and watch it.
But you've got to have good coordination, good dexterity, good eyesight, and you've got to have all these things wrapped together. And also, it's good if you're right-handed, because everything's set up for right-handed working. There's nothing set up for left-handed. So you've got to...
Again, that comes from the industry. You see me make a full piece there, but in the industry, you'd probably have the master sort of thing in the bench at the finish it off. But you'd have 2 or 3
in a line.
below in a line. Mm-hmm. So they would all move around in a circle. So that's why we're geared up to move right-handed, because if somebody wants to go the other way, it just doesn't work. So that's why that bench is sit that way. If you're left-handed, obviously you have to adapt your right hand to do the shaping, which we've had to adapt our left to control.
It's very heavy.
When they open the furnace as well, I've noticed, even from 4 seats back at the front, you can feel the heat from it. It's immense. From either one.
My name's Noah.
And your name?
Iram.
So you've just seen the demonstration now of the glass. What did you think?
I think that it was pretty amazing, and they took their time a lot. I didn't think it would be that long to just make like a vase, and yeah, I think it was really cool how they made it.
Do you think it's something that you could be interested in and maybe do yourself one day?
No. I think the best part was when they were blowing it because it started to go very big.
He's blown down the tube, he's trapped the air in the tube with his thumb, the air travelled up the tube, and when it hit the heat and expanded, it pushed into a bubble automatically.
I think after they put it like to freeze it, because we got to see like the whole like vase.
Once it's happy, freeze it off. And then bubble jump is given a final flash that just spreads the heat evenly around the piece to help it start to cool.
This is what makes us the glass centre, I think, personally. The skill's just incredible, and they just make it look so easy, and it's the most difficult thing I've ever tried. So I think that gives you a new level of appreciation for what they're doing. It's lovely, especially when you see in the holidays, when you see kids' faces when they're doing things, and it's just that like look of awe, and they're really excited and enjoying it. It's lovely to see them, seeing something that they've never seen before.
Just for the record, Betty's grumpy.
I'm hungry. Standard.
So you're grumpy and hungry.
And I've just seen a glory hole that I can't put my hand in. That's my other half. He's home for a month. All I've been is agitated, annoyed and hungry.
Hungry?
Hungry and angry. How old are you?
Rude. Do you know you never ask a woman an age? It applies to men too, right?
Okay.
Move on.
So how come you've never heard of the word hangry? Okay, sit your derriere down, open your macadamias and prepare for an education.
Derriere?
Bum.
Derriere sounds like some kind of ice cream you buy.
Stop. Just shut up and listen. Right. Hangry. Split in 2 words. Hungry and angry. Take the H and have angry at the end. You get hangry.
See, I really enjoyed the tour. It was really informative. It was red hot. But to see, the thing that got me is when at the beginning you see this tiny little square rectangular block of glass and it suddenly becomes this vase at the end. It's just incredible to see something. Probably the 4th or 5th time I've done it as well, and every time you never come across that it's repetitive. You never look bored.
No, and yet everything starts off the same way. You start off with your bubble and you build up on your bubble and it develops from there. So each piece starts from the same beginning, with a little bubble of glass. It could go wrong at any point.
Yeah, they've all got different melting points. So obviously the more colours you put in, one's heating up quicker than the other and reacting differently. So that's exactly what Ray's saying. Even though we know what we're doing, there's still a little bit of a surprise for us.
Things can go wrong. I mean, you can go to IKEA and what they call the place, TK Maxx, and you can buy a piece of glass which serves a purpose, and it's cheap as chips.
It's not the same though, is it?
It isn't, but not a lot of people understand glass until they come here and see how it's made. And it's only then when they start to appreciate what's gone into a vase, like what you've just seen there now. Lots of people come and say, God, I didn't realise how much was involved to create that particular piece. To make it cheaper, you would lose the magic of it all, because you would have a production system where you would have a rolling conveyor belt of one man gathers the first bit, then the next gather, he puts the colour on, and each man would do a little bit till he got to the glass bit, he would finish it off. So that wouldn't look as interesting, as impressive as how it does look in the way we do it.
Good, it's different. You can get things that aren't really one of a kind, isn't it? Like all the stuff that they get made, and it's not the same. So
You never make 2 things the same, do they? So it's quite interesting.
Well, we were speaking to some people outside. They love the fact that it isn't a mass-made product. It's something that's unique.
Yeah.
And the people who've been watching the demonstration as well.
What they also like is to actually buy that piece because they've seen it made. So we sell lots and lots of pieces simply because they've seen it made. So we gear it up whereby we've got our information sheets to take names and details of people who want to buy the piece, because obviously you can't get it on the day that it was made because it's got to be annealed. So you've got to come back a couple of days later to pick it up. So we sell quite a lot of our pieces slowly because they've seen it made.
Is any of you looking to maybe buy something while you're here as well? Is that one of the reasons you come down?
Yeah,
Just have a
possibly.
little look.
Well, Rachel, you bought one last year for your friend, didn't you, for our wedding present?
Yeah.
It was lovely.
Still in our front room.
What reaction did they get when you gave it to them as a present?
I don't know, she liked it. Obviously it's something different. And it went with our colour deco of our sitting room, so it added something.
Not the average present you would usually
no,
get.
yeah, something different. And like we said before, it's not really the same as it as something else. Like I think it even says on the bottom that obviously where it's made and things, and obviously you can keep it for years and years. Pass it on to somebody.
I think what one of you said as well is it's something that it's one you can see it being made here, but it's not a reproduction of something. It's totally, if they do another one with the same colours in, it's not going to look anywhere near the same, is it? So.
I think as well you watch them and obviously all the colours are different. It could, whatever they kind of choose in that moment makes it different from the one they made half an hour ago. So thank you.
And then you'll hear the Geordie accent, you'll be like, oh God. Yeah.
Well, I did ask the question to them. I says, why would you choose to buy something? Well, I says, would you be buying something here? This is I said, what reason would you do it? It says, because this is really special. We give it to like anniversaries or do them for weddings or things like that.
Yeah, people like to have something different. We create something different every time we make something.
And then after the glass blowing demo was over, we talked more with Ian and Ray
about how they go into glass making and why it's important for the city.
If you've got any questions, please come up front and ask. But if not, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
My name's Ray Stannis, and basically I'm a glassmaker at the centre, but also I'm a cold worker as well. So I've got a lot of variation to my role.
My name is Ian Spence, and I'm a glassmaker at the National Glass Centre.
Ian should go first because he's been in forever.
How long's forever?
Well, I might have had a little spell of unemployment, but if it had been continuous, 46 years.
How many things have you blown?
Yeah, so he's been doing it since he was 15-year-old.
I started at a place not far from here. Obviously, it's no longer here now. Hartley Woods, which used to produce stained glass windows. So I used to blow the sheets of glass. They used to be blown into big cylinders, and then they would be cut with a glass cutter when it was cold, reheated and flattened out. And then the stained glass artists would come along and choose whatever colours and lead them all together. So there's glass everywhere in the country, possibly. There's a lot of places in the world, worldwide.
I mean, there's a piece of Hartley wood glass all over the world. Australia, America, prestigious buildings.
Exported, as he says, all over the world. And this building was built on the reputation because of other glass industries in Sunderland as well, i.e. Cornens and all the previous bottle factories and things.
So what was the spark that got you interested in glass and glass blowing then?
Well, me personally, it was pure chance. When I left school, I was going to be a joiner, and it was a friend of mine that was a year older than me that was already in it. So when it was a temporary basis, which I thought at the time, until I got a joiner apprenticeship. And then when I seen it, I just loved it, so I just continued.
So do you think glass blowing in Sunderland is a big key feature of the community?
Well, it has been in the past.
It has been in the past, definitely.
I mean, obviously, again, it's like any industry, the mines, the shipyards, everything, they've had a massive decline. But hopefully now the university, they're playing a big part in it, doing a lot of degrees with the students and things. They're the next generation.
Because it is such an, I would say, old school skill, it's not a job that you hear every single day, like you'd hear a doctor, a policeman, a fireman, a blah, 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 blah. You'd never hear glassblower.
You would have 20, 30 years ago when we had 3,000 people working at Corning, for a start, and however many at Hartley Woods. Around the area, you had Leamington, Abrahams, Thompsons. There was lots and lots of glassmakers in the area, and the university got involved when the industry went into decline. Now people are saying, they don't relate it anymore, but it was something, it was a skill and people wanted to do that. Unfortunately now, there's still people who want to do it. That's why they're taking up these degree courses and the likes. And we're fortunate to be able to work with the new students who are interested to develop their skills.
It's becoming more of an art form now as opposed to the industry.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
production work anymore.
It's a combination of all
glass,
skills with the new.
People normally think prestigious places like this are normally like the capital, being London. So
Yeah.
how do you feel that this is right in Sunderland? It's the National Glass Centre.
Well, it's not exactly the National Glass Centre. It's National Glass Centre. That's because we sell glass from all over the world here. But people do see us as the National Glass Centre, so we're not going to just change their minds.
No, but I mean, again, it's because of the history of Sunderland, which is why it is here. I mean, there was a massive debate on where this was getting built because they did want it down Stowbridge, Birmingham. No, but that was the that was the discussion because obviously there's a lot of crystal factories down there, but we want it because of the heritage.
Might not be the National Glass Centre, but it's our National Glass Centre.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Come on, man! Our National Glass Centre.
Ah! Yeah, I love these tools too.
Obviously, it's coming up to Christmas, so your glass baubles are going to be coming out. Is there anything else we can look
We haven't
forward
got
to?
time for anything else.
Well, the one before that'll be
we start
Halloween.
off with the pumpkins.
Pumpkins.
Pumpkins first.
Pumpkins?
Yeah.
Pumpkins.
Oh, do you make like glass pumpkins?
Oh,
Oh, my
yeah.
God, we have to come back. That
Yeah,
looks so
that's,
cool.
Available to book online from September.
So
When?
There's
September.
people already ringing up to book.
Yeah, we have a waiting list
you know,
every year. We have to have a waiting list, and people.
So popular.
Yeah, it becomes a tradition for people as well. We see
That's
the
right.
same people coming back
That's
year,
right.
every year,
People got
and
a
they say,
collection.
you know, we want to make our bauble and add it to our collection on our tree, and they've been doing it 6 or 7 years, and it's.
Seems to be a lovely family like feel at the Glass Centre because it's the National Glass Centre. People think it's going to be massive and there's going to be lots of turnovers of staff, but it's actually really nice. It seemed like a very close-knit group.
I think
That's
a genuine
great.
connection though, because I think the history that's in Sunderland, everybody knows somebody who's either been to Park, like sort of Cornings or.
That's what Sunderland's like in anyway. Is they're all connected somehow.
Where are you from?
South Shields.
Sundancer.
She doesn't count.
Oh, it's a bit warm, isn't it?
It's red hot in there. I mean, it's a bit hot here today anyway, but wow, that was hot in there. Oh, the breeze is lovely.
Best thing of that though, glory hole.
Do you know? Oh, when he said it, I thought, oh no, but
Dirty.
he's going to say something, man.
How old am I, man? You wouldn't think I was 26.
Do you notice when we asked him the question at the end, though, he was like, oh, and you're going to ask us that. And he tried to keep a serious face, and then he didn't.
What goes in must come out.
And you're really hungry now. How can you
I
even talk
am.
about that when he's like mega hungry?
Oh, the view! It's canny, innit? There's loads of seagulls and
I was
a
just
dog
saying
that I
there
quite like.
to Laura, this is right now, if you were here years ago, 50 years ago maybe, it was absolutely heaving because it was the world's biggest shipmaker port and it was rammed.
Why did it
from.
stop again? Got bombed,
Oh, I
didn't
couldn't
it?
give you some good answers for
Yeah.
that one.
It got bombed and then, was it Margaret Thatcher decided to just go to the northeast
You'll probably
and
find if
shut
you
it
ask
down?
anybody within the northeast, particularly in Sunderland, they'll blame Thatcher for it, which two sides to every story, I suppose. But she certainly halted shipmaking.
Well, it hasn't really stopped it that much. I mean, if you look at it, it's still going, it's still at it.
Well, you can hear the port behind us anyway. That's quite busy. Every time you come down there, you'll always see a shipping port, and it's offloading whatever cargo it's got. The port itself has got one of the biggest storage areas down there as well. We had just a week and a half ago, we had the tall ships, so it was littered with the ships down here. So it's lovely. It's a lovely place.
So for not being as grand and as big as what it used to be, it is still getting used, but not to the extent that it used to. But
It's
it is
still
kind
here,
of,
and
still
it still has-
stinks though.
What does it stink of?
Dirty Mackums, that's what these are. Dirty Mackums.
Dirty. See, that's the thing. I'm going to hire in the water.
Please don't. You know what I really fancy, Stevie? Fish and chips.
Why?
I don't know, I just feel like I really want
Do you know what
fish
it
and
is? Every
chips.
time we've got a microphone, you're always hungry for something.
But there you are, I was going to offer you to buy fish and chips and
You were
sod
going to
off,
offer
you
me.
can-
Hang on,
Aye.
you were going to offer me
Well, the
to
offer's
buy
gone
fish
now.
and chips. How is that an offer? You were going to
What? I
offer me
said
to
I
buy.
really fancy fish and chips and I was going to buy fish and chips and now you don't want
right,
any?
you didn't say that.
Well,
Oh,
God.
offer to buy.
I offered to
Oh,
buy.
I didn't hear the two bit. Oh,
God,
that's
you know,
nice.
is this like a little Geordie
Well,
corn
see,
talk
I'm back-
shenanigans?
No, I'm back on me. I'm back on Slimming World. Actually, I cannot.
Oh. Go you. I'll have his. Right, we're going fish and chips, Craw.
Let's get some nosh. So what are we up to next week, Betty?
Well, you know the Rogue Up here that is just open to the public to us.
Aye.
Well, producer Jay has booked us on one.
Hey, has he?
Aye. Isn't he a canny little egg? And if I remember rightly, you're kind of a bit of afraid of tunnels and claustrophobia and black and things.
Is it really narrow?
Depends who you ask.
Everything's in the gutter with you, like, isn't it? Which is quite appropriate if we're going into a tunnel, isn't it?
It's a tunnel.
And I won't be able to run anywhere because there's no doors, because it's a tunnel. Excellent. And pretty soon we're going to be doing our very first question and answer episode of the podcast.
So if you want to get to know us a little more, shoot us a question via our social media.
Dear Betty, why are you so hyper all the time?
Dear Stevie, why are you so bald? How do you get away with not wearing sun cream?
I actually carry sun cream in the car.
There?
Aye.
Last thing I saw in your car was code red. That was your aftershave. You actually showed us it with pride. You're
That's
like,
the
look,
wrong-
this is my code red.
Oh, was it called code? I don't know.
Oh my
It was just
God.
cheap, so I picked it up in the shop somewhere.
Lovely.
So Betty, how can people get in touch?
Well, we've got a Facebook, just search for Speak Up Sunderland.
And a Twitter as well. We are Speak Up Sun.
Roll call!
Thanks to Laura Reid, Marketing and Communications Coordinator.
Thanks to Ray Sellers and Ian Spence, the glass makers at the National Glass Centre.
And producer Jay. The cement in between two bricks.
Thorn between two roses.
We didn't get the names of most of the Glassblown audience.
But we did get the names of the two kids, bless them, Noah and Aram.
See you next week.
Next week!
Bye-bye now.
Try love!
See ya.
So long, farewell.
Wouldn't want to be ya.
Goodbye!
Oh, my ears.